Good morning, Moonlight Citizens. The man on the moon here, coming to you with another episode of the Moonlight Kingdom Podcast. We're ready to blast off in 3, 2, 1. As always, we shift gear to the DC side of things and their upcoming, what's this? What's he calling it? Yeah, just the DCU. We've been calling it that for years. Even when it was the DCEU, we just called it the DC Universe, but now it's officially got a name. The DC Universe. Yeah.
And its logo with Cyborg. How crazy.
There's no Cyborg.
Cyborg and Justice.
Why you gotta do that, man?
Still hasn't been addressed.
Dude, took out the two black guys. Dude, you know how that looks, right? Just...
I remember that the fanboys on Twitter were going, oh, but it's because his characters are not part of the first phase, so they're not, their nations are not going to be in the logo. Okay, fuckface, but neither is a Wonder Woman movie. There is no Wonder Woman movie out yet, but she's still in the logo. So that excuse is bullshit, because Gunn already announced the first phase. That's just dodgy, when DC spoilers just plain dodgy. There's no, but it's not part of the phase. Bitch, neither is Wonder Woman. Neither is Aquaman. They're still there.
They fucking canceled that Wonder Woman movie, dude.
People are very annoying when they try and whataboutism,
Yeah, it's just, man, this fuckery, dude. Like, there was supposed to be an HBO Max series focusing on the Green Lanterns. That's gone, isn't it? Like,
Probably.
You think,
maybe, but probably.
Probably.
Because Blue Beetle, it's funny because, it's smart. It's not even funny, it's smart because since that movie is so early into production, like it's so early, they can afford to put it in this new universe. It's fine, it's easy, it's done. And I like that. Because obviously it was like Snyder movie, but no. It is part of the new universe, and that's fine, that's good. Since it is early days, they can rework things, they can rewrite, right?
Dude, they have big plans for Blue Beetle. I remember one exec legit said Blue Beetle is our Spider-Man. Like, that's a sign, like, they got plans for this dude. Like,
yeah. So, I feel like obviously Gunn, he did cancel the big guns, but I think, he flopped there, no doubt. But I don't know, the man has a vision. Might as well let him cook. Because no one else is cooking right now.
Yeah. So, like, I didn't fire Henry Cavill. He was never hired. He never got the job, man. He never signed any paperwork or whatever saying he was coming back for Superman. My initial reaction was to just yell, bullshit. He let out a tweet and everything. He was in Black Adam. Like, it's bullshit that you're like, he never got the job back. But then I actually sat down to think about it, and I realized something big. Like, you're right. James Gunn is absolutely right. Henry Cavill never signed any paperwork saying he was coming back as Superman for a Superman movie. That's true. James Gunn did not fire Henry Cavill. Because when you think about it, Cavill never really stopped being Superman. So there was no need to rehire him because there was never a press release saying that he was out. There was never any recasting or anything. They just stopped using him. That's it. That's literally all it is.
He still got shot by Deadshot, or whatever that guy's name is, Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, yeah. clear that he was going to come back at some point, and it was clear that he still had the job. It was just a matter of scheduling because he was filming The Witcher that he couldn't come in and film scenes, and they had to get the double. So yeah,
he did come back for some Snyder shit.
Yeah, he did do Justice League.
He filmed like 10 scenes for the Snyder Cut. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, and the black suit. When I first, hey man, I gotta ask though. Yeah.
Most of the scenes are recolored. That's the thing. Most of the black suits are recolored from the Whedon cut, which is literally just Zack Snyder's footage. So it is still a Snyder cut. Mostly recolored well, not even back to black because it was colored. It was like red and blue, but they made it black. They added like a few new scenes with the black suit.
Yeah, it was. You could
really make it like pop and stick in your mind that this is a new suit.
Yeah, it was different from the other one. Like the chest was bigger. Somehow, like okay.
Yeah, that CGI was better.
Yeah. I remember looking at it, I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's his suit, right? Shouldn't there be a hole right there? Because he got stabbed. Shouldn't there be a hole right there in his fucking chest if it's the same suit?
It's like, oh, but it's, it's magic. Because how else resurrected? It's magic. It's science that's so advanced. To us monkeys, it looks like magic.
Yeah. I mean, I get... The thing is, in the Snyder Cut, it would make sense that he needs a new suit, so he gets the black and silver one. That narratively makes sense. But, like, for him to just reappear...
It seems like...
Yeah.
Because obviously in the previous movies, there was a chamber on the ship that was obscured. It was hidden. And it was closed. Because the other one was open. Because that one had Kara's suit, funnily enough. But the other one closed. And people had long speculated that this could be the chamber of the black suit. Now, obviously, we didn't see him physically putting it on. But we saw him post-wearing it as the ship door opened. Now, obviously, that would naturally conclude that he took that special suit from that special chamber because that suit canonically is a rejuvenation suit.
Yeah.
Hence why it's black, because in the color wheel, black draws in the most light. Like, black attracts the most light. Even when you wear black, black attracts the most heat. White dispels it, because it scatters those light rays. But black is just, it sinks in. So, the black suit is, in the comics, meant for Clark to recover the suit. And obviously the suit is supposed to soak in more UV rays, because it's black. So that is the utilitarianism of the black suit being black and the actual law behind it. But obviously Snyder doesn't really care much about the law, as we all know. So for him, it's just a fucking suit chilling in the fucking, in his ship, it's a suitcase that was open. I go, oh, here's a jacket, it's a random jacket, and you go to a party. Snyder treats it just a random outfit change, but it is an intentional thing that Clark has to don, And also, why the hell does he have no mullet? Jesus Christ, it's been months since he died, guys. Your hair never stops growing. Your hair and your nails never stop growing. We know this.
Even in death.
How is his hair so perfect? Man.
I remember
this guy's hair.
Dude, we've had this conversation before. I remember we were talking about the mustache, and you were like, he shouldn't be clean shaven. Hair and fingernails grow after death. If anything, he should have a beard. Let him keep the fucking stash.
Literally what happens when he comes back to life. When he gets resurrected in the comics, he's out there, okay, yeah, he has no powers yet. He's still weak as fuck. But he's got a mullet, he's got a fucking beard, and he's got a fucking 12-gauge shotgun. He's out there. He's in the trenches, he's fighting. He's like Punishing it,
Yeah.
He's putting a Punisher.
Dude, even
He's got guns and shit.
Even the animated movie got this right. Even the Death of Superman animated movie got this right. Just...
Yeah, he's out there with guns and shit. This guy is just there with his full powers, stronger than ever, slapping these niggas. Slapping them, bro. Like, you guys are weak. You guys are not even doing nothing. Yo, dog. Listen, Danny, I love Snyder, but sometimes he's a dumbass. He's just slapping him. Oh, you slap. You're weak. You're the daughter of an Amazon and a god. Weak. Slap. You're a fish man. Slap. You're not that fast. Like, what do you mean? He just woke up, bro. How is he stronger than ever? This guy is dominating them. And then he goes, he's like, oh, down boy. Nigga, it's not the Lazarus pit. This guy's not a monkey. It's not like, booga booga, where am I? He's out here with like short-term memory loss. Doesn't know who he is. Thinks he was a fucking enemy, like he came out of Lazarus pit. Because, the Lazarus pit makes you crazy.
Yeah, that's, dude, that makes, yeah.
Makes him totally crazy. This is not even, this is like in the ship. This is in the ship. And the thing is, this is...
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the comics, obviously the Eradicator took him from his grave, put him in that Tonian rejuvenation thingy. Hey, complicated comic stuff. But yeah, he just died out of his grave when he's put in a weird pit. I feel like that was Snyder trying to do the Lazarus pit, hence the craziness. Because Superman does not wake up crazy. In fact, he was just in a coma because the guy he was dead, but the Eradicator woke him up, but then he was in a coma while his body healed. So I don't understand why this guy wakes up and has no memory, like he's a fucking caveman, Frankenstein's monster, ooga booga.
Yeah, like he knocked out Wonder Woman. He fucking headbutted Wonder Woman, knocking her out. Like,
bro, a headbutt and it drowns into the ground. Nah, dog. It's like, I don't know, Snyder only likes Superman. He wangs Superman. I can't care anyone else.
I mean, he likes Batman too. Like, you can tell in Batman vs. Superman, the warehouse fight. Yeah.
I mean, he likes Batman's aesthetic. Hence Owlman in Thinking.
Watchmen, yeah.
Yeah. Hence the Watchmen and Batfleck similarities, the goggles and the winter outfits and whatnot and all that. But it just seemed like he's an aesthetic boy. He's very much into aesthetics. Like, he's very much, flash shots, this looks good. He lacks aesthetic, but he lacks the substance. Because things are just inconsistent. He's a good filmmaker by the virtue of image. But other things really do stand to be reasoned with. I don't know. For me, certain things like, they kind of fall flat. And don't get me wrong, Snyder's a good director. I love that movie. But no one is exempt of criticism, I fear.
Yeah.
No one. No
Nobody.
one is exempt from criticism.
Nobody's got 100% no misses in their filmography.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, Nolan comes close. That's not even a lie. Nolan does come pretty close, but even he's not, perfect. He's never had a flop. None of his movies have bombed or anything, but, like, they're not all, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone has, like, confusing movies, but they're not bombs. They're not like, this movie was ass. They're good movies, but they're confusing. They're like, let's go on.
Yeah, that was just Tenet, dog. Dude.
Tenet, Inception, Prestige.
Like, with Inception, you can follow what's going on. The end with the top, that dominated debates, whatever. But like, you basically the story-wise, you can follow.
That basically goes, but wasn't he in the real until then? And then he told him he was living in the real world. It's like, okay, relax, guys. It's not that deep. Like, okay, maybe he was dreaming. Doesn't matter. He's still happy.
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
That was like a year after the fact, by the way. Like, Nolan came out and said that the top isn't the point. Yeah.
He was back there, like, okay, you know, he's back.
Yeah. He's back with his family. Like, Nolan flat out had to come out and say to, like, people asking the question, like, whether or not he's dreaming doesn't matter. The fact that he's back with his family, that's the point. Like, you're focusing on the wrong thing.
He's been chasing these people for Lord knows how long now. And he's with it. That's fine.
Yeah. That works.
In this case, ignorance is the best bliss. Because it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing matters in that world.
Yeah.
It's like when you play a one. In that world, I would 100% live virtually. I don't care, bro. If I can feel pleasure and eat and sustenance and whatnot and taste, I'm living there.
Nah, that's the one thing you can't do. I mean, sure, you can feel shit, but you can't eat. Like, you can't eat virtual food. Like, that's
what I'm saying, if you can.
Okay.
Like, if they found some crazy-ass way to, like, you know, morph brain neurons and taste neurons, because essentially what that is, right? Essentially what eating is we're providing our body nutrients. It just so happens that food tastes nice. But we're providing our body nutrients by giving it his food.
This goes on for a while, but let me just cut to the chase and say, reality is the only place you can go to get a good meal, because reality is real.
Like you're a broke motherfucker. Like Elysium vibes. Like, oh, the rich eat real food that's really made. You know? And the poor eat visual food. You know, they don't die, they're not skinny, but they just eat virtual food.
Yeah. With Elysium, that fucking movie. Whenever I watch that movie and I get to the end, I'm like, yo, these people are fucked.
Boy,
These people are so fucked.
that movie, I had hoped had a sequel. But they didn't care about it. I cared about it. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was one of the only movies I've ever bought on Blu-ray. I've bought like 4 DVDs in my life on Blu-ray. One of them was Elysium.
First movie I ever got on Blu-ray was Spider-Man 3, dog. Damn,
I ever got Spider-Man on Blu-ray. I had Spider-Man on DVD and cassettes. But my friend stole one of the cassettes. Fucking ghetto. A nigga from Hill Group even.
Nigga.
Stole one of my...
This whole thing is totally avoidable. Just put a med bay on Earth and people will stop trying to come here. We were discussing shit wasn't real, and like that being the point doesn't matter. And Elysium, yeah, and those med bays. You know that whole thing of like the poor people trying to get to Elysium to get to those like med bays that can heal anything. That could have easily been avoided if like they just put one of those med bays on Earth. This whole thing is totally avoidable. Just put a med bay on Earth and people will stop trying to come here. Like, dude.
It's like throwing the dogs a very old bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but shit though, dude.
Holding his dick.
He does, man. It looks like he's holding his junk.
Oh, this is a young Mark. Young Mark, current Noah. This is crazy, bro. Like when I saw this, I was like, okay.
Holy fuck.
Under exaggerating this.
Holy fuck, dude. That's him. That's him.
That's Bruce Banner with quarterback shoulders.
Dude.
That's Northern there, right?
That's him right there. Just like swap his fucking eyes and it's the same dude. Like, damn.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Well, that casting was definitely done on purpose, man, with this shit in mind. Like, oh, damn.
Yeah, it is like.
That is
In
some.
one way, it's weird. It's like.
Yeah, this,
Does he look
how does he look just like him?
like? Okay, look, we know Mark Ruffalo. We know him. But he looks like a teenage heartthrob.
Oh, dude, just the perfect nature of it all. Just this casting, it's pinpoint casting. It's like Men in Black 3 with Josh Brolin as K. Like, dude, it's just so.
Yeah.
Dude, you buy it. You
It's meant for it.
dude. Oh man, it's not even like he's doing an impersonation of Tommy Lee Jones. Like, nah, he's K. He's that character in the 70s. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
you think we could have gotten more of him? Like, had the franchise continued, you think it would have been a good idea to see K going about his life as an MIB agent in prequel movies leading up to the first MIB film?
The thing is, the tie-in would have to be incredibly interesting. Because it makes no sense for them to make a K movie, say, in the 80s or 90s. Say a movie in, like, 99, right? Okay, that's actually Men in Black.
The first one, yeah.
So let's say, fuck. Let's say 78, right? Fuck it. 78. He's kind of older. Jay would be a kid. And maybe it's around the Vietnam War. During the Vietnam War, there's some aliens who want to exploit the situation by attempting to invade Earth or whatever with sleeper agents, you know. Like, they could make it so compelling, weave it into history with very beautiful results, but it would have to be centered around a historical event, because Kenny alone is not enough to satiate the appetite of watchers. So you would need that supplementary thing of, oh, okay, but it was during the moon landing, which makes it exciting. Like, yeah, an MIB movie is nice, but not when you've already had one original plot after the other, and the second one wasn't even that good. So now they're like, okay, cool, let's use time travel, but now we'll set this during the moon landing. Oh, look, it's a Twiggy reference. Oh, look, it's an Andy Warhol reference. Oh, look. So they kind of, like, use those periods to, like, lean on it as a crutch, as a consequence. I would say as a consequence more than a benefit. Because sometimes you get, like, wrapped up in the fucking appearances. Like, oh my god, is that? Oh, it is. It's Ziggy Stardust, or whatever the fuck, whatever that model's name is. Twiggy. It's David Bowie, and it's Twiggy, and it's Paul McCartney, and it's John Lennon, and it's Andy Warhol. That's too much. Like, dial it down, And if it leads into something from the past, which it will lead to, they don't have to overdo it.
Yeah, it could have worked if it did surround a significant event.
You'll see everyone. You'll see you'll see Evil Knievel, Maybe he's an alien with no fear. You might see David, and he's an actual alien as well, He's Agent B.
Yeah.
Well, he's just B. He's just Bowie. Came here from another planet, Jupiter or whatever bullshit, that he thinks about. He's Ziggy Stardust, he's a Starman. So, they could have played to that. They can play to that, but not too much. Play to that.
Respect the
you
dead,
can also have, I was gonna say, like, some pop culture references like Star Wars, but it wouldn't really matter at all. Because it wouldn't matter to the grand narrative of monsters and in the real world, it's Star Wars. So I wouldn't really care too much about that. It's that.
What about Elvis?
Maybe like.
I mean,
Maybe like.
because in the first movie, Kay did reference it like
James.
no, dude, like the reason I bring up Elvis was because in the first movie when Kay was playing that Elvis tape, like Jay asked him, "You know Elvis is dead, right?" And Kay just replied, "No, Elvis is not dead. He just went home." Have the movie have something to do with that? Have it show what Kay meant by, "Oh, no, Elvis isn't dead. He just went home." Like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like maybe, you know, Elvis is from. Maybe he is from David Bowie's past. Maybe, you know, maybe Dolphin's past, whatever.
Yeah.
And he went home. And this movie is about his escape because of an alien mafia, you know, so he had to cut his career short, you know, and obviously he had to make his death and make it look convincing, you know.
Yeah, and MIB helped him cover it up and get him out of town. Yeah.
It helped him. There were some more villains, and that kind of triggered Vietnam War, you know, maybe. And then that probably culminates with the fact that maybe Elvis needs to help with another hero and another musician. They need to help in this intergalactic war now. And when they're done, he goes home.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, Elvis went home after helping us save the world. You know, like, look out there. They're literally more creative than writing team.
Yeah.
It's preposterous.
And if they'd gone the prequel route, we would have been spared the weird spin-off of Men in Black International. Just...
No, like, you could have milked the story so nicely if they had just stood the process and they gave MIB4 a chance. They really should have given it a chance because, oof, they are the ones, they didn't even shoot themselves in the foot. They shot themselves in the head.
Yeah.
It was the worst performing MIB movie. It was the worst performing movie for Sony ever. Like, it was just not a good movie. It was not a good movie. And it's like, who even allowed this? Who allowed them to take it from Barry Sonnenfeld's hands? Yo. Like, not even Will Smith intervened. God damn it.
Yeah. And there's references to it. Like, there's a picture of Jay and Kay fighting. There's a picture of them fighting some kind of alien.
I remember.
Yeah. That's all we get. That's literally all we get. And those worm guys who've been in the previous movie.
The cockroach niggas.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, that to me is nothing other than like very facetious network because all it is like, oh, they're showing us that they exist. Yeah, fucking shit they exist, dude. No fucking shit. It's Men in Black. We know this. It's not a alternate dimension, you know. Not every movie franchise has a multiverse. We know it's the same universe. You don't need to show us a picture there. We want to see them, bro. Not because you don't think that they don't exist. We know they exist, but we want to see them. This painting does nothing for me. There's absolutely nothing. I know that they're real, but I want to see them, motherfucker. You know, like, it's so pointless.
If anything,
it's a very pointless thing.
If anything, it actually distracts from what the movie's trying to achieve. It's trying to establish new heroes.
It feels like a foreshadowing, like they will appear, but they don't.
Yeah.
Which even worse.
Like, the one character who carries over from the previous movies is Emma Watson. I think that's...
Yeah, whatever her agent name is.
Oh yeah, she was in Men in Black 3. Problem is, her first appearance was in Men in Black 3. It wasn't like she carried over all the way from the first movie. She carried over from the third one, and she was only in that present day sequence with like, oh yeah, you know, she's running MIB now, and like that's it. That's her role. So she was running MIB in the US, and she carries over. She's the only character in the whole MIB trilogy who carried over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Rip Torn did die.
Yeah.
The great Rip Torn.
Yeah, it was definitely, tragic to hear.
What an amazing fucking name, man. Rip Torn.
Rip
Yes,
Torn.
that's what I named.
Hey, man, it just stands to reason, man. Your parents must have loved you. Coming out of the womb, your parents must have loved you to give you a name like that, man.
Rip Torn.
And speaking of having people and connections, you hear the what do you think on the rise of Nepo babies in Hollywood,
You know what's funny? They've been around, but for some reason we never, or I guess media never really cared that much to even comment. Like they just don't care because, bro, Ben Stiller is a Nepo baby. Jennifer Aniston is a Nepo baby. These niggas were around back then. They didn't care. They're still around now. Now they care because of the younger ones who came along the way. You're millennials. You're 2003s. You're 2004s. You're 1998s. They're all apparently Nepo babies. And okay, cool, that's fine. But you guys didn't care 20 years ago when it was the other guys who were literally their age as well. So why are you talking about it now? It just seemed very, to me, superficial. I don't understand it.
Yeah. I think with regards to the ones we have now, like the Nepo babies we have now, it's more of a thing of, sure, okay, Ben Stiller was a Nepo baby, but he at least put in work and made something of himself. He wasn't just his dad's son. And, sure, you have Chris Pine, like his dad was an actor, but like he's not doing the same shit his dad did. It was never as obvious that, if he ever got a helping hand from his dad or whatever, it was never as obvious as it is for some of the generation's actors now who are Nepo babies. But nowadays, it's like people there's this feeling that, oh, these Nepo babies are getting jobs they don't deserve. And no. It's that they're getting jobs that they're not good at. And solely because your dad is a producer or whatever. Because with Chris Pine and Ben Stiller, okay, sure, he may have gotten the job because he's so-and-so's son, but you ignore that because he's actually really good at it. So, yeah.
He's actually talented.
Yeah. He actually has talented.
It's like even like directors, man. Fucking, even Nicolas Cage, obviously, boom, Nepo baby, family ties.
Not really, actually.
Fucking J.J. Abrams.
Okay.
J.J. Abrams, Nepo baby. His dad was a fucking famous director. His mother was a writer. And then when he was younger, his dad told him that he would be a writer. And then this guy is like fucking doing Star Wars at like 21. He's doing comics for Disney. What? Well, this guy had his whole career planned out for him. It was disgusting. He's the biggest Nepo baby. J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it's certainly something to think about, though, man. J.J. Abrams, the Nepo baby. Shit. But man, what could we do about it? Like, you draw attention to the fact, like, oh, these people are Nepo babies. Your dad or your mom or whatever is in the industry, and they helped you get your foot in the door. Thing is, I'm not bothered by like a parent helping their kid get their foot in the door and, then leaving them on their own. I'm cool with that. You're a parent. Why wouldn't you do that? But the parent not only holding the door for you, but telling everyone inside to hold a bunch of other doors for you so you can just to get out of the way, that's not cool. Like, and then like getting you a job that you're not even good at, that's not cool.
Away someone else's opportunity.
Yeah, it's actively costing someone else that part. It's like there's someone else who could have done that part better, but we'll never know because you were chosen in their space because of who your mom or dad is.
And good people too.
Yeah, the highest.
That's how you lose talents.
Yeah, I think the most obvious example of a Nepo baby that backfired big was in Avatar: The Last Airbender. The chick who played Katara only got the job. She only got the job because her dad was he was financing the movie. And one of the conditions was giving her dad a job.
As I would learn, that's the girl who married Brooklyn Baker. I was like, what? I didn't even know that. Fucking Katara, bro. Crazy.
Dude.
That is Brooklyn's wife. Or was it? What's his name? Because it is Brooklyn, yeah. That's his wife. So weird.
The fucking strangeness of it all, dude. That chick's acting was fucking terrible, man. Just, Jesus. I mean, I get it. In a movie full of bad acting, for you to stand out is, dude.
It's crazy. Wait, bro, sorry to disturb. Breaking news, so to speak. Daredevil has hired Michael Questa to direct Daredevil Born Again.
Michael who?
So,
come again? Didn't catch that, man.
My nigga Dexter. My nigga Dexter. Feel me?
This is, That's...
It'll be good.
Yeah, I'm sitting there thinking like, I'm like, this is...
R-rated.
I mean, it's the MCU. But dude...
I mean, it's crazy because they're not going to bring back Foggy and whatnot, apparently. Foggy and Karen. Apparently. I don't know. The big rumor now is that it looks like it's not going to happen anymore. Because everyone was hoping that they'd call them back. But apparently they didn't. It's very rude, given. But at least we got actual, D'Onofrio and Cox. But, yeah, no thingies and thingy.
Yeah, no Foggy
it could be a false rumor, and they are indeed coming back. Yeah, I don't know. They also recast Vanessa Fisk.
Yeah, the wife.
She's Asian now. Sandrine Holt. She's very beautiful. She will be Vanessa Fisk now. I don't know. I like her. She feels like Vanessa. She feels me, but also extremely beautiful. Like she could cap you in the fucking head the minute you turn around after saying, "Do you know the number for the authorities?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, I have it in my purse. It's right behind you." Where? Got your ass. Now you fucking dead. I like her. I like the costume choice. She looks sinister and sweet. Ideally, I want my wife to look like that. Sinister and sweet. But yeah, I'm not mad at this. I'm very satisfied. Though Vanessa seemed very unsure of herself. I think the picture is sent you on WhatsApp. So on WhatsApp, if you want to see it, it looks very good. I'm happy.
Yeah, I saw the casting choice and stuff. The recasting of Charlie Cox honestly could have happened, but it wouldn't have serviced the way Daredevil was revealed. No, not Daredevil. It wouldn't have serviced the way Matt Murdock was revealed in No Way Home, because if it was a new actor in the role, yeah, no, in No Way Home when he first appeared, if you revealed Matt Murdock
as the lawyer,
yeah, if you revealed Matt Murdock as his lawyer, but he wasn't played by Charlie Cox, there would have been this feeling of like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? Like, you know, yeah.
Also, I don't think that pool with Matt, that scene with Matt, it was for nothing. It was for the fans. That scene didn't need to happen at all. It added nothing besides Peter won his court case, evidently, right? That was off screen anyway. So this also might as well be off screen as well. It matters not. It doesn't really matter a lot. It matters for us because we like it. We're like, oh yes, Matt Murdock, love it, baby. That's Disney saying, listen, we got a back for you. So be happy now, but be prepared. Be sad later. I respect it. You know, you're not gonna get everything you want in life.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that, you know, they're gonna give us some things, but not everything. And that, sure, Disney will spend money. They've got a fuck ton of money, man. Disney has fuck you money. They never have to worry about another thing again. But, you know, just because they have that money doesn't mean they're gonna spend it willy-nilly. They're not gonna spend it on things they don't need.
Exactly. Right now for them, they just don't need Foggy and they don't need Karen. Or rather, those actors that played them.
Yeah.
Because there's a good chance they might ask for a high paycheck because they're returning. So Disney doesn't need that. You don't need it at all.
Yeah.
They have the high ground. They can cancel this. They can fire Charlie. They have the high ground. It's so crazy.
It's definitely something to think about, though. But in regards to Daredevil Born Again, who do you think the main villain's gonna be? Because this isn't the Netflix show.
It could be Bullseye, but I think it might be Fisk.
Really?
Yeah.
Even after the events of Hawkeye, we know he's not dead, but, you know, still, he's at very least gravely injured.
Yeah. Yep.
Fisk again just seems. Man, it just seems. Yeah.
Look, you can't get Bullseye, right? You can't get Echo because her show wouldn't have come out yet.
No,
And they're already adversaries.
Echo
So-
would have come out before Born Again, the way the slate was laid out.
Yeah, it rescheduled.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, I see them having very little options. They want to recapture Netflix, so just add Fisk back in. Doesn't matter. You don't need to save him. Just put him back in, bro. He's part of the show anyway. Didn't save him on Netflix. He was a part of the show. He was a main character. So it's fine. Just add him back in. Just toss him back in. It's fine. You know?
Yeah, I see. It definitely could work, making Fisk a part of the MCU again. I mean, he is in the MCU, but making him a more prominent part of the MCU. I don't want to see Fisk go up against Daredevil again. I want to see him fight Spider-Man. You know, he's a Spider-Man villain, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah. I think you can have him in like the first few episodes, and then something happens and he's no more around. Enter Spider-Man. You know?
Yeah.
That way, you put cohesion. And Daredevil, you have Fisk escaping prison after Matt had successfully apprehended him, beat him up, put him in jail, he escaped. When he escaped, the authorities mentioned how when they raided his apartment, they found an empty with a warm cup of coffee just made. That means he was abducted by enter Spider-Man. But again, he's not really abducting him. He's more like taking him for questioning. Because Spider-Man's like evil. He's a kid. Then you have him talking. Where were you on that? Unhand me, you simpleton, fucking Wilson Fifth, whatever. He slaps him. They get into it. But like, who says they're not true?
Yeah.
They're continue. Who says they're not true?
Yeah, it could work that way. The two characters and Spider-Man do have a similar thought process when it comes to how they handle criminals. Like they beat them up and they leave them there for the cops instead of killing them. Yeah, it would be interesting to see how Spider-Man interacts with someone who's seemingly just like him in some ways. No, in a lot of ways. Shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. It's definitely one of those things. What can we say?
What can be said? Shit.
Yeah.
But hey, man, the MCU as it's been so far, like it's had its ups and downs, and lately there've been a lot of downs. What do you think is of the upcoming projects on the slate, like the slate of movies coming up? What's the project that you think, all right, this is it? This is the one that's gonna get us out of this funk. This is gonna get us back on track. What's that? Which project do you think has that power?
God, that's such a hard question these days. Yo, bro, I won't lie to you. I've said that about so many movies so far. I was like, oh, Thor's it, baby. Thor. Oh my God. Yo, I wouldn't even know, bro. Like, I legit have trust issues. I don't know. Maybe. Actually, no. I know. I need to stop being very, like, I guess the word would be negative about this. No. This movie will turn out phenomenally. Fantastic Four.
Really?
Because it has to be. It has to. Boy, yeah. This movie sucks. I will cut them to you. I swear to God. Oh my God, this movie sucks. I'll be so sad. If F4 sucks, I'll be so sad. Bro, I'll be heartbroken. The first family, I'll be heartbroken, bro. I will legit be heartbroken. If they fuck up the first family, bro. I don't even care about Doom. Okay, everyone has their own, way of portraying Doom. It's fine. But dog, the first family, Johnny, dude, Reed, Ben, they need to get them perfect. They need to.
Yeah. We can't have three terrible iterations of the Fantastic Four. We cannot have that,
Bro,
dude.
that would look bad on our part, because it's like, we've seen every bad thing that has come, and we still couldn't do a better thing. That would be, on our part, a huge fucking embarrassment. We need to knock it out of the park. It's about time we do. It's not our first crack. It's our third one. We need to get this right.
Yeah. Marvel definitely, the MCU absolutely has to get this more than anything else right. They need to show, the rights should have been with us from the start, not Fox, not anybody, because we're the only ones who can do this properly. And they need to show that by making this movie the best fucking Fantastic Four movie ever made, which isn't a high bar to clear. It's not a high bar to clear, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, this movie The problem is, though, this movie can't even lock down a director. Everyone they lock down leaves for some reason or another.
That's the very scary part, because why is your movie in that kind of trouble? Why?
I don't know.
Why are people like backtracking, going and slowly walking back from the movie? Why?
I mean,
Nah,
this is supposed to be John Watts'. This supposed to be, remember they announced like, oh, John Watts is gonna. The same time they announced they were doing Fantastic Four, they announced John Watts is gonna direct it. Like sometime later, he backed out. Never explained why. He was gone.
Ow.
They, they didn't cast anybody. They didn't it's just something in the process led him to back the fuck out.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a situation, oh, we were a few weeks away from filming and the studio disagreed with my vision or whatever. He was just gone. What the hell?
I'll never get it.
Yeah. Same thing with Blade. Except with Blade, they actually had a script. It was just shit. It was script so bad that the lead actor. A script was so bad the director quit, and the lead actor denounced it on social media. Just, dude. Dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bad movies really do sometimes deserve not to be made. That is a greater glory to a brand than making it and trying to salvage it.
yeah. And
Not making it at all.
this movie, this Blade movie, this upcoming Blade movie, it has to. It has to shake off. It's got a lot to do because it has to introduce Blade, introduce the world that he inhabits of vampires and sinister figures. It has to do it all within the confines of a PG-13 film, and it has to make Mahershala Ali a better Blade than Wesley Snipes. And not only that, it has to be a better movie than Blade Trinity. So, yeah.
Equal Blade, but it has to be better than Blade 3.
Yeah. As good as the first one, but better than the third. This movie has so many things to juggle, and it can't even lock down a script. Just
Sad. Very, 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 very sad.
man, the MCU. I get that the bubble was bound to burst at some point, but damn, not like this. Not like this.
Never like this.
Yeah.
Never.
Dude, just. Oh man, it's enough. But dude, has it truly gotten so bad that you'd be considering like, yo man, if this doesn't work out, I'm quitting the MCU? Like, there's no coming back. Is it that bad, dude?
I feel like we are in the most yes relationship with this slate. Let's be honest. I gave the MCU so much immunity. Infinity War and Kingdom dropped. I was like, y'all are reacting to anything dropped. God. Worst mistake of my life.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I didn't watch it late. I knew we were in trouble when I watched Black Widow. I was like, something is wrong. Something is wrong. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but something is wrong. Very wrong.
Yeah. Black Widow.
Black Widow. Since that day I watched it, I was worried.
That was the first MCU movie that I didn't No, not the first movie I didn't see in theaters. That was the first movie that I saw from home. Because prior to Iron Man 2, the first movie I saw in cinemas was Iron Man 2. Prior to that, I'd saw them on DVD, and that was it. But like, this was the first one I'd seen at home. And at the end, I thought to myself, I'm glad I didn't spend money to go see this in the cinema.
Because that was a crap.
Dude. Nonsensical. Not to mention it was nonsensical. Let's not forget that part. Just, that movie was trying to be a Bourne movie, but it was like trying to be this spy thriller with espionage and shady government like practice and whatever, but at the same time it has to be a superhero movie, so you have the heroes escaping these impossible situations, and there are several situations in that movie that we've pointed out before that bear not repeating again, where we say like, you should be dead. You have died. There's no way you're just walking away from that. These are not super soldiers. These are not mutants. These are just people. You're dead. That's that. But yeah. And after that film, there were sparse bright spots in the MCU. Like, your Shang-Chi with its amazing fight scenes, choreography, and the Mandarin in Wenwu. And sure, you think, okay, Black Widow was just a fluke. The one movie, everybody's got to have that one movie,
It's fine. We all have flops. It's fine.
Yeah. And then,
it's not a big deal. Just let's be better in the next one, yeah?
Yeah. And Eternals was the next one. Boom. The first MCU movie, dude, that one was boring. It was, say what you want about Black Widow, but it was not boring. It was bad, but it wasn't boring. Eternals was boring. They were
like just a box was dud. It was a dud.
That movie was so uneventful, and it did not achieve in the way that Marvel did. That Kevin Feige did an interview saying there are currently no plans for the Eternals, even though in the events leading up to its release, he was like, hey, the Eternals are gonna.
Yeah, no, these guys are,
dude.
It's kind of changes it. So these guys are up next, man. I remember.
Yeah.
They're trying to convince us to like them, and I was like, bro, I don't give a fuck about Eternals. I don't look at anything like Eternals. The ones that does Celestials. I was angry. I was like, fuck it.
I remember, dude. There's not just one episode, bruh. There are multiple episodes. If we look back at our list, there are multiple episodes where you rag on the Celestials and how they don't look like the Kirby design. How in Thor: Love and Thunder they look good, they follow the comic design, but in Eternals they look shit. Like, what's going on?
Why are we get James Gunn to consult? Doesn't make sense. Because Tyler got James Gunn. Obviously, he had to monitor his characters. But he also literally got back the exact same, model. I don't even know how, but 10 years almost. Got the same model back for Eson, the Searcher. Got them designed the proper Celestials. Not that weird, tinny, string bean fuck we saw. Man, I really hope they change them. Because, look, no one would really care if they look any different. Because that movie was a dumpster fire. And it could very much be considered a visual retcon. It matters not. In fact, you could literally use visual effects to edit the way they look in that movie and just make the whole movie that same movie, but they look like this instead. Easy to do for them. But you just need to have the right assets. And I feel like they're not willing to do that, to go through all that effort. But I would watch it.
that, and then when it comes out after the fact that Chloe Zhao initially pitched Eternals as a TV show, then it makes a lot more sense. Like, oh, now it makes sense. These characters don't feel fleshed out, and everything feels rushed
She
because, yeah,
she wanted a long form narrative.
yeah, and you know the cutting back and forth. Yeah, just give them a mini series, 5, maybe 6 episodes, and this story makes sense. But yeah, a movie spanning centuries, just no. I don't care who you are. You're not gonna make that work, dude. Like, uh, just even the movie's marketing. You remember the movie's marketing positioned Angelina Jolie like she was gonna be like the big, like the main thing of the Eternals, of the whole group. She was the one. She was on every poster, front and center. She was in every trailer. Most of the action scenes she was in, and in the actual movie, she doesn't show up for like half an hour. There's a good half hour where she's not there, and the movie is 2 hours long. Just that's a quarter of the movie where the person who's on all the posters, in every trailer, who's in all the interviews, isn't there. Just yeah. And then the creme de la creme of crap, Thor: Love and Thunder. Oof.
That's a dumpster fire. Just
That right there, dude. That thing is, because up until now, even though they've been bad movies, they always had like something about them that was positive. There was something about them that was redeemable. That even though this movie's bad, it is worth watching. Black Widow, in my opinion, had David Harbour as Red Guardian. He's the funniest thing in that whole fucking movie, and I enjoy every time he's on. Eternals, as bad as it was, had the third act with Makari and how she did speed better than the Flash. I like that part, and we've talked ad nauseum about how awesome it is, and we wish the rest of the movie was like it. But unfortunately, she's not in the rest of the movie. She's literally only in the third act. But anyway, that's the one thing.
let's start with some bullshit like that.
Yeah. So
It's fucking like Superman. They call it getting Professor X.
dude.
When a character of power is out of the fight. For weird reasons.
Yeah. Because if they were in there, the story would wrap up pretty quickly. It's like, dude, it's literally Quicksilver from Days of Future Past. Like, this guy could solve all their problems in a flash, which is why they ditch him once they've gotten Magneto out of jail. They're like, oh, hey, just take the car, go home. We're gonna go to Washington, D.C., try to stop the assassination. You could totally come with us. We could totally use your help, but, then you'd solve all of our problems, and that would be it. So, yeah, we're gonna leave you here. But still, in those two movies, Eternals and Black Widow, they each had that one thing that stopped the movie from being a total train wreck. Thor: Love and Thunder has one good thing about it, but it's not enough. This movie is that fucking bad. It does not matter that Academy Award. What did he win the award? Did Christian Bale win an award or was he nominated? Whatever. Academy Award nominee Christian Bale is in this movie. He's playing Gore the God Butcher. He's perfect casting. He's playing in the role exceptionally well. He's a great character. He's just trapped in a shit movie that is so bad that it's not enough. Him being that good is not enough to save this film. It is that fucking bad. It is that inconsistent. It is that unfunny. And it is such a mess that a character defining moment that is in the comics, it's in the fucking, all other source materials, it was storyboarded, that was filmed, and just ultimately disposed of, because this movie was so haphazardly made that the fucking CGI and visual effects couldn't catch up with its ever-changing ball of crap. Just, dude. But yeah, my thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder. It's the worst movie in the MCU. There's no topping it. It's bad. Thor: The Dark World is it's that meme, that Thanos meme about, perhaps I judged you too harshly. This movie isn't worse than Thor: The Dark World. It actually makes you look back at Thor: The Dark World and say, maybe this movie wasn't that bad.
Exactly, like you're kind of fine.
Yeah. Shit. The MCU. Well, far we've fallen.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
I am very worried.
I remember 2 years ago, I asked you, do you believe it was after, what year did Squid Game come out? Because it was like around that time. Like 2021, right? So, like, around that time, after the final episode of Squid Game aired, I asked you, would you say the golden age of the MCU is over? And then you said, yeah. I mean, because, we're past Infinity War, we're past Endgame, so, like, the golden age is over. Like, you said then we're now in, like, the silver age of the MCU. Like, we're still there, man. Or have we slid even further?
Bro, we've fallen. We have not slid, we've fallen.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very. We are on the precipice of destruction.
Yeah. I think it was John Cleese who said, it's only at the precipice of our destruction that we realize we must change. So, you think that, I know, it's fucking deep, right? God damn. Like, that just, yeah, like, you think now that we're there, man, we're not nearing the edge. Like, we're on the edge, teetering. You think now that we've reached that point that there's going to be a swift change? Now that, Bob, no, was it Bob Iger? Yeah. He said that they're gonna dial back their output. They'll be more focused on quality than quantity. You think now things will finally change back?
It's very possible. However, maybe things will never just be what they were. And we have to accept that. Maybe they'll be like Spider-Man from them. Maybe. We have to find a way to make sure. Because looking at it as a Star Wars OG series kid is what we are at this point. Because the time from Star Wars 1 till the prequels is the same amount of time that we spent watching the MCU since its inception. So it's literally like from 1979 to 1999. So when you look at it now, it's like we miss what something was because we had an older generation of people who did that, who did it well, who did it to our liking. Now obviously time has passed. A substantial amount of time has passed. Close to 17 years. And I do think that while it's not the same as quality we used to, perhaps its quality can still remain somewhat decent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sad notion because it could mean that we might never, ever, ever, ever enjoy because kids love the Mandalorian. You know, they love the Book of Boba Fett, right? We love those shows, but a lot of the Star Wars kids from the 70s do not like it. They don't. We like it, but they don't like it. And not that we have bad taste, it's so different. So I think there will come a point where even the MCU is no longer palatable for us to watch. And you'll try, you'll sit through some of it and it's just like, ugh, it's bad. But that'll be the new norm. Which is sad. Breaks my fucking heart.
Yeah.
I hope not. I'm saying this like in the most pessimistic way possible. Like in the worst case scenario, in the worst / best case scenario, that is what we're left with. Our younger family can enjoy it, but we no longer have the capacity to enjoy it.
Yeah.
We just don't have it. So yeah.
Things with the comparison I can make that's even larger than from 2000s to now in the 20s would be the Die Hard movies, because even like us as we are, the people from our generation who love Die Hard, even though it didn't start through like our generation, there are people who watched the first Die Hard, still to this day hail it one of the greatest movies ever made. People from now,
Exactly.
I mean, it's one of the best movies ever made. Then like there are people who would watch Die Hard 4, which came out in like 2007, and they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, I see that's John McClane. He's saving the day, which is John McClane shit, but the setting he's doing it in and how he's going about doing it is not Die Hard. It's not the Die Hard I watched coming up. This character is so far removed from what he was that it doesn't feel like him anymore, and I can't continue watching. And that's how it appears to be going in like with regards to Ben 10. Like, the reboot is so far removed from what I came up watching that it's not it, and I just refuse to see it. And I don't want to see that in the MCU. I don't want the MCU to be so far removed from the heydays of Iron Man and Infinity War and freaking Spider-Man No Way Home. I don't want to be so far from that point that we just say, this is not the MCU anymore. This is something else,
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely do hope that you kind of get our act together. By the time it like really matters, which is when we're gearing up for like an Avengers movie or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We need to get our act together.
We gotta get our shit together, or else the day will come when DC pulls out a multi-billion-dollar movie and it outgrosses an Avengers film.
Exactly. That's the day Marvel will be sick.
Dude. And that's not just gonna, like, what's gonna happen to that fan base? It's not just gonna suddenly, everyone's gonna shift now and move over to James Gunn's DCU. Like, that's not how fan bases work. That if we weren't watching before you was good, it doesn't mean we watch now. Like,
Yeah.
there was,
People have their loyalties.
Yeah, people have their loyalties. There was a comparison. I don't know if it fits 100%, but it was 2001, and Vince McMahon just bought his biggest competitor. He just bought WCW, and the thought process was, okay, now the WWE is the only game in town. They're the number one wrestling promotion in America. Surely all those WCW fans are gonna switch over to Monday Night Raw and watch that instead. When Like, most of them just stopped watching Total. Like, it's like, oh, well, the show that I watched instead of Monday Night Raw is no more. I'm like, I guess I got nothing to watch. Like, if I wasn't watching Raw in the first place, I'm not gonna watch it now. Like, now there's no alternative. Like, there was a reason I wasn't watching the show. So, yeah, that fan base doesn't just shift just because, oh, you're the only option left, you know? Just because DC would be the only studio pumping out quality superhero movies doesn't immediately justify the whole fan base shifting to the black and blue.
Exactly. Jeez. But do you trust, like, this new slate?
Do I
trust it?
I haven't seen a single movie out of it, so not yet. Nah, I'm gonna hold off, man. I want to see.
Okay.
I want to see Superman Legacy, dog. I want to see his Superman Legacy, his kickoff for this new universe. And if that's good, I'll see the rest of it. If it ain't, I'm out. That first movie sets the tone for the whole universe. And if it's bad, the whole universe is bad. So I'm going to check out. Because this is his baby. This is the one project he is hands-on working on that he has written up himself. If this is a flop, everything is a flop, whether he's in it or not. That's just my take on it.
They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my